What's up guys, Brad here from Piney Grove, and today's video is going to be about things we hate about our Kubota tractor. But don't be fooled, we love our Kubota tractor. We just think there's some parts on it or some features or functions on it that should come stock from the factory, or some things that they could improve on. Please leave a comment down below about your tractor. If you have a Kubota tractor and there's something else you don't like about it, or if there's something else you really love about it, please put a comment below. We'd love to converse with you about it. We love tractors. We use them almost every day out here at Piney Grove, and we're really a fan of tractors in general. It doesn't have to be an orange tractor. So there's no better place to start this video than the front of the tractor, because that's where the problems begin, or where I think Kubota could have engineered some things a little better. Now we have this Grille Guard, and this is a very nice Grille Guard, and it's very functional, and I'm glad it's here. But when they went from the 00 series, the L3800, to the 01 series, the L3901, they moved this Grille Guard back and kind of curved it more, so now you can't open the hood. Let me show you. So the hood latch is over here. It's very easy to get to. I'll pull the hood latch, and boom, the Grille Guard hits right here in the middle of the K of Kubota. So let's close this and show you what we have to do. So what Kubota makes you do from 2015, I think, forward, at least with the L series, is they make the hood opening a two-step process. You first have to fold the Grille Guard forward. And it's simple and it's easy, but I bet I forget 95% of the time. So you just pull this pin, pull the Grille Guard forward, and then pull a pin to pop the hood, and you're free and clear. So while the hood's popped, we'll actually talk about the next item, and this actually applies across many tractor brands. And what it is anything above 25 horsepower, you have to have some sort of emissions to reduce the particulate matter that's coming out your exhaust. And different manufacturers do it in many ways, but the most popular way is through a DPF, or a diesel particulate filter. And that's what this particular model has. It has a DPF. It's this silver thing right here. I'll bring you in closer. There's the DPF. And here's some different sensors that are in the top of it, and also some fuel lines that go into it. And what it does is it filters out those bigger pieces of the exhaust, and at some point it gets clogged and it has to burn it off. And it's a very complex process. You can look it up. I'm not going to go into it, but they added emissions from 2015 on to this 38 to 40 horsepower tractor. Actually, anything above 25 horsepower. It made the tractor more expensive and makes the tractor more complex. And although I'm hearing that you still get good longevity out of these engines, I'm hearing, 1,200 hours, still no problems with these tractors, these L3901s. But still, it's something else that is going to be in the back of your mind that you fear might go wrong, or something maybe you don't know how to work on. Okay, we'll go ahead and close the hood. And while we're on this side of the tractor, we'll talk about something else that Kubota always does with their tractors. And that's that they drill a hole through the fender, or two holes through the fender on this side, for you to have a right armrest, but they don't provide that armrest for you. So when you buy a new tractor, whatever you have to pay for it, then you have to go out and buy a $70 option to put this armrest here. And I don't know which way you turn on a tractor, but I tend to look over my right shoulder when I'm looking back at the brush hog or disking or tilling. So I actually need to grab something here, and it's better to grab this grab handle than it is to grab the side of the fender. So that will be the third item that I would say that I didn't like about this tractor when I bought it. But obviously I fixed it. I'm going to do another video of the modifications we've done to this tractor to get it the way that we want it, but you'll notice that my feet are on rubber and not on steel, and that's because the tractor doesn't come with rubber floor mats. But they weren't even available when this tractor was made. They actually became available with the L3902 tractor, and it's the L3902 rubber mats are actually retrofit to the L3901. So while I'm sitting here, I want to talk about this slot here on the left side. I have my low, medium, high range hydrostatic gear shifter, gear selector here on the left hand side, but right next to it there's another hole where there should be a handle, and that's your cruise control. And this is my fourth L series tractor, and I've only had one that's had cruise control, and it's a really nice feature, especially when you're mowing, but this one don't have it. And actually I'm not even sure if you can retrofit or add it, but I will say, Kubota, if you're going to put a space here for cruise control and it's simply a lever, let's go ahead and give people cruise control when they buy their tractor. So in the front of the tractor here, I'm going to talk about two things that are shortcomings in this tractor. So first of all, the exhaust comes out here, and it used to kind of be angled down, but they put this deflector right here, and it actually says hot on it. So I get that. We're going to protect people from burning themselves on exhaust, but this exhaust goes across the front of your tractor to your orange, makes all this sooty, and it also goes on your loader a little bit. So I don't like that. But actually the main reason that I'm up here talking is because there's no good tie downs on the tractor when it comes from the factory. When you have this thing up on a trailer, there's just no good place to tie it down. And we trailer a lot because we have other properties we take our tractor to work on. But also you need to trailer it occasionally to take it to the dealer for service. And they just don't have good tie down point. We actually modified this tractor so it has a tie down point here on the front, on the left and the right side, but that's something Kubota could have integrated from the factory and it wouldn't have been that much more money. We've switched back here to the rear of the tractor, and don't judge me because my ROPS is taken off. We have a lot of trees and stuff here on the property, and the ROPS tends to hit the trees when we're mowing, so we keep our ROPS off a lot. When we're in situations where rollover is a possibility, we'll put it back on. But back here at the rear of the tractor, there's a few things I want to talk about. So number one is the toolbox. We have 2 videos out there on the toolbox, and we're not going to go into it in depth here, but the basic premise is that this bar right here is what Kubota uses to mount a very small plastic toolbox. Number one, it's in a bad location because as you can see here, this bar is bent on this tractor from things coming up from the 3-point hitch and hitting it. And also it's a small toolbox, it's plastic, and the bolt heads actually tend to pull through it over time. So we switched to this toolbox right here, and that wasn't a perfect solution. We actually had to have that welded and redone. So we have a good toolbox here. It's a great location where Kubota's OEM toolbox goes. It's just too low. It's too small, it should be raised, and it should be a little bit bigger. So the last thing we'll talk about is the 3-point hitch, and there's a couple things to address here. First of all, nobody likes to unhook or hook up 3-point hitch implements, but it's the most common way the implements are hooked up to tractors, so it would be nice if the manufacturers made it easier. The first thing we're going to talk about are these sway bars and these stabilizers or these adjusting turnbuckles on the side. Now, just about everyone that owns a Kubota knows about these, and also I think John Deere uses them in a lot of their models as well. But these things are hard to get to. It's hard to get a wrench in here to loosen up the jam nut. It's hard to turn these things, and if they get bent at all or they get any sort of corrosion, it's just difficult to extend them or retract them. They're a great system if you keep them well lubed, and once you get them set the way that you want them set, they're great to prevent sway on your implements. But getting them to that point is really, really hard. We've actually bought the Kubota telescoping sway bar stabilizers. We haven't put them on yet. That'll be in a different video. We've lived with these on several tractor models. It'll be the first time that we've swapped them out. But that's definitely something that a lot of people don't like about hooking up 3-point hitch equipment. Now, while we're talking about that, let's talk about this area right here where this pin goes in. So in addition to this adjustment back here for your 3-point hitch, there's also telescoping sway bar ends that allow this end to come out several inches. So you don't have to back up perfectly to your implement. You can be an inch or two off. You can pull this out, put it over top of the pin, and then when you get on the tractor, either back up or pull forward and it'll lock into place automatically. As you can see, this isn't adjustable at all. It's just a thick piece of metal that goes to this eyelet where this 3-point hitch pin goes in, and you've got to get this perfect, either with the tractor from driving it up to the implement or by moving the implement itself. There are some make and models of tractors that will come with these stock from the factory, but that's pretty rare. But you can get ends here that will slip into this stationary end that will extend out a little bit, and they are adjustable. So there's a way that you can fix this. I'm going to fix these stabilizer bars. I'm not going to worry about this end here, but that's something else that doesn't come stock on the Kubota L series, and in fact it doesn't come stock on many tractors at all. All right guys, that's going to wrap up this video about what we don't like about our Kubota tractor. But don't be fooled, we absolutely love this tractor. Otherwise, these small things that we talked about are inconveniences or things that the engineers at Kubota could have made a little better. But we totally understand that there's probably cost reasons that they did it. And in the case of the DPF, that's actually a federal regulation. We're kind of being hard on Kubota, but at the same time, we really love their product. We are not sponsored by them, we're just impressed. But we're really fans of just tractors in general. It doesn't have to be an orange tractor. But if you like today's video, please click that like button, subscribe if you haven't already, and share it with your friends. But otherwise, that's all I've got. And remember, life is short, tractor hard.